Let's hear the moments near. Your voice is loud, it's crystal clear. Keeping dreams and hopes collide. Choose the ones so stand with pride. Can't send the ballot where we belong. Every vote builds a nation strong. Your council, your board, your mayor in line. Together we shape this land divine. The future's written in your hand. A chance to guide and take a stand. Community rising, hearts aligned. In together we shape this land divine.
The lights are bright, candidates ready for the fight. Voices loud, they take the stand. Who will lead the promised land? Promises flying, hearts ignite. Truth arise, we'll take the mic. The clock is ticking, make your choice. Who you hear, the people's voice. It's in the ballot, it's in your hand. The future's calling, take a stand. One vote, one dream, one destiny. Who will wear the crown in 2025? We'll see. Words are weapons, wielded strong. Debates get heated, right or wrong. They paint the town with visions bold. Who will rise, who will fold? Shadows linger, truth will stand. The battle rages from within. One by one they state their case, but only one can win this race. Who will lead this, win this race? It's in the ballot, it's in your hand. The future's calling, take a stand. One vote, one dream, one destiny. Who will wear the crown in 2025? We'll see. We'll see.
Everybody, tonight these candidates be vying for your vote on who's going to be the next mayor of Hutt City Council. But with every election, there's one thing stepping in their way, and that's your vote. Coming here live from the Little Theatre in Hutt, we bring you the Hutt Mayoral debate. So let's give the candidates a big round of applause for them putting the feet to the its and the ballot fire. Okay, so let's kick off first with Prabha on your 1 minute opening statement of why you should be receiving that tick for mayor.
Thank you, Sam. Kia ora koutou, and thank you to It's in the Ballot for creating this space for all of us to connect. My name is Prabha Ravi, and I'm standing to be your next mayor of Lower Hutt. I'm not a career politician. I'm a fiercely independent candidate, a local business owner, and a proud resident who has called the city home for nearly 30 years. I'm running because I believe our council needs a fundamental reset. We need leadership with both community heart and proven experience. I've spent decades on the ground serving the Hutt, and I've also spent over 20 years in governance, managing multi-million-dollar budgets and ensuring financial accountability. My plan is clear: value for money, a relentless focus on the basics, and getting our parking sorted to bring life back to our city. I'm here tonight to answer the tough questions and to earn your trust. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. And next up, Brady, your 1 minute opening statement why the Lower Hutt voters should be giving you their tick.
Kia ora koutou. Thank you so much, Sam, and it's in the Ballot team for putting this on. Also, the crowd here tonight and those watching online, either delayed or watching it live. Thank you so much for taking part in democracy. It's really good to see it in action. My name's Brady Dyer. I was born in Stokes Valley, went to school here in the Hutt Valley, and I've spent my whole adult life living here. It's where I bought my first home, it's where I've started and run a number of businesses, and where my wife and I are currently raising our 11-year-old daughter. Over the past 6 years as a councillor, I've shown up, I've listened, and I've worked really hard to get things done. But I know our city can do so much better. That's why I'm standing for Mayor, to do the basics better, to boost our Hutt businesses, and to make more connected communities. I care deeply about this place, and I'm asking for your support to help shape a Hutt that we're all proud to call home.
Thank you for that. Next up, Karen, your 1 minute opening statement on why the Lower Hutt voters should be giving you their tick for Mayor.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Thank you, Sam, and everyone for being here. It's lovely to be with you this evening. My name is Karen Morgan, and I'm an independent candidate, and my only agenda is you, doing the very best I can for you, our people, and our place, Hutt City. I believe my career to date has positioned me so well for this next step, to be your mayor. I have extensive leadership, governance, management, and life experience, and I have a demonstrated record of proven success, such as building strong partnerships with local businesses. I'm an inclusive leader, which means listening, collaborating, connecting at a grassroots level, and creating partnerships on all sorts of levels. I want our diverse voices to be heard, and I have an active role in our decision-making and our vision. What I offer is steady, cool, calm, collected leadership to navigate the upcoming projects like Riverlink, but to also ensure that the well-being of our people is a priority. With me as your mayor, you're in safe hands, and I will do my best to do all I can to deliver the very best for you. Ngā mihi kia koutou, kia ora.
Okay, and last up we got Ken on why the Lower Hutt voters should be giving you their tick for Mayor.
Even though the campaign period for the local body elections has just started, it's very clear to me in terms of the feedback that I have received that rates and the cost of living pay heavily on the minds of a lot of our residents. We know that the majority of our residents can cope financially very well, but there is a group, 16,000 over 65 on a fixed income in our city who have devoted a lifetime of paying rates, paying taxes, and have devoted their time and their families' time to making our city a better place. I hope that throughout this period and in the lead up to the election that we get the opportunity to talk with each other, talk together, and come up with good solutions that will put Hutt City as a world-class city that can proudly stand alongside some of the greatest cities around the world. And I hope I can be part of that debate.
Okay, thank you for that. And can we give a big round of applause to all the candidates for putting their feet to the It's in the Ballot fire? Okay, and to our online audience there, feel free to sit there and go chatting in the chats and all that thing, and be part of the community and the conversation, and sit down there and say what you think you want to sit there and say, and we can sit down there and be part of the community. As you know, we're in studio, but we also have our online community at home who are also watching. Now, we're up to the first round of the show. These are the box questions. Now, metaphorically speaking, I'm playing not just the role of Selwyn Toogood and Tina Kikabushi here, but I'm also playing the role of their producer tonight. So I've got a lot of things to sit there and do. So we're going to be having box numbers taken off a sheet, and I've got them a nice random set of questions hidden in the boxes here. And also for the candidates, each candidate will get 2 button cards. So if a question is asked from another candidate and they want to sit down there and also give their answer, they can sit there and use one of their button cards to sit there and do it. And also if they get a curvy question they don't quite want to answer, they can always use their defer card and send it to one of their fellow candidates there. And as with fashion with how we do things here, It's in the Ballot, we have a random order sheet that sits there and chops and changes the order every time in the roll. And Brady, you get to go up first. Pick a number between 1 and 28.
Let's go number 1.
Number 1. Okay, we have was it A for Aotearoa? Are council policies helping small businesses survive and grow?
Oh, look, as a small business myself, I know that they are the backbone of the local Hutt economy. And while some council policies have definitely helped, there's definitely a lot more we could be doing. Too often, small firms face red tape, rising costs, and miss out on local council contracts. That's why I'm committed to a buy local, build local procurement policy that will see local businesses prioritised when the council is spending money in our city. I'll also establish a business incubator and accelerator program, which will help the new generation of startups get off the ground and grow. And I'll keep working hard to cut the red tape and streamline approvals so business owners can spend less time filling out forms and more time serving their customers. When our small business succeeds, our whole city thrives.
Okay, thank you for that. Next up, Karen, what box number?
Oh, number 2, please.
Number 2. Okay, so let's get on to question number 2 and let's pick out a card. And we got K for Karen. Okay,
Oh, hang on.
all for Kelson without a T for those who aren't from Wellington and from Auckland. Okay, what are your ideas for helping people who don't have good internet access to be involved and have their say?
Kia ora. So many people do actually have internet now or some form and way of accessing it, which is really great. But for those who don't, we need to take more active connections through our community hubs, look at rebuilding our community and looking at how we connect with people. And that means going to where the people are. So linking with volunteer groups, linking with organisations, going to where or looking at influencers who can actually get a group of people together to hear those diverse voices, because they are very important, and important that we can actually collect that data and collect that evidence and hear what's happening for them at ground level, what's on top, what's going well, what's not going so well, what would they like to see in their community. So I think that's a really important part. With our community hubs, there's a really good space there now, but we need to see more notice boards, more maybe digital boards where people, when they go in, can see what's coming up, what's happening, what are the information and notices we can share through those avenues as well. And it gets back down to neighbourhoods, knowing your neighbours, having chats, how can we get that grassroots level conversation going to get people active and get them involved.
Okay, thank you for that. Prabha, what box number? Number 3. Okay, so let's find out from the question box. So we've got AA for Autocratics Anonymous. Especially should be given for both, was it Putin and Trump, and many others around the world. Thank goodness none in New Zealand. What do you think of local government and local democracy?
Local government is the closest level you can be close to the people.
Microphone.
People. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, those at home want to hear you.
Sorry.
We'll restart the clock.
Okay. Local government is the closest level of democracy that people can be with. It must be transparent. It must be responsible and accountable. At its best, it empowers communities to shape their own future. So for me, it is a key part of delivering the core services to the people, listening to them and being with them and doing it for them together. We're all doing it together.
Okay, thank you for that. And Ken, what box number?
4.
4? Okay, so let's sit there and okay, we've got F for Fairfield. How will you fit in council meetings with your other commitments?
Well, if you can't attend to your responsibilities in an elected capacity, you shouldn't be running. The priority for the ratepayers is that they get value for money. At the very least, those of us that are elected need to fulfill our responsibilities. And if that includes, well, it does include attending meetings, being active in the community, listening to the people speak, having the ability to be able to influence that impact change that come from those interactions, not trying to make excuses for not coming to meetings. We all know what it's like to be part of organisations and part of groups where some are more committed than others. And if I am fortunate enough to become the mayor in October, I will be insisting that everybody honours their council commitments as the highest priority of why they were elected in the first place.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, we have 4 questions down and we've got a new round and a new order. Ken, you get to go up first. What box number?
5.
God, I was hoping things would be tossed up a little bit here.
All right, 27.
Oh, I'll put that in and grab another card. Okay, we got J for Juliet. Okay, and could Hutt City Council be more open with its information and meeting access, and if so, how?
I think the Hutt City Council, all councils, are actually already very open and very accessible. I think the Hutt City Council was one of the first councils, I think, to go live with their meetings. And based on the experiences that I've had in terms of my interaction, I have had no trouble with any of the councillors with regard to access, meeting papers, meeting notes, communicating. I think overall that the current group of city councillors in the Hutt in terms of their community interactions is outstanding and something that we should admire and be very proud of. And if I am to be the mayor, I certainly hope that will continue. So, live streaming, I don't know what else we can add. There are things obviously from a commercial perspective that need to be done behind closed doors, but that in no way impacts the integrity of the process. But I think the Hutt City Council can be very proud of their open access at the moment.
Okay. Oh, we've got a button from Brady. Oh, yes. You definitely know how film sets work.
Thank you. I believe the council can actually be much more open. Transparency builds trust, and trust builds better decision making within local government. That's why I proposed a public dashboard so people can see where all the ratepayer money is actually being spent, both citywide and also locally in their own suburb. All council meetings will be live streamed, and every single decision that every single councillor makes will be electronically recorded and be really accessible to the public so they know how their elected representatives voted on every issue. I'll continue with my monthly newsletter and continue to run the podcast that I created, the Hutt Seat. These are just more ways that we can engage. For me, openness isn't optional. It's a real core responsibility of the council.
Okay, and with good old It's in the Ballot tradition here, the people who tend to button tend to pick the next card. What box number?
Let's go 5. That's boring. Let's go 18.
Let's go 18. So the current voting age, I do like that one. Okay, so we got, was it G for golf? How will you support local businesses and encourage economic growth in Hutt City? God, it feels similar to what you just had.
I was about to say, can we choose another number? This is basically the same question. Look, as a small business owner myself, I know local businesses are the backbone. I'll introduce the local procurement policy that I've already talked about. I just want to make Lower Hutt such a great place to do business. It's why I chose to start my business here. The other big part of our economy here is while we have amazing manufacturing opportunities down in Seaview and Graceville, we have over $1 million of GDP in the manufacturing industry right here in the Hutt, and it's a huge opportunity to tap into more of. The other big opportunity I see for Hutt City is being an events capital. We have some amazing community facilities here in the Hutt, from Tutaki, the Lower Hutt Event Centre, to all the community facilities that we have invested in. If we can put Lower Hutt on the map, that brings more people to here from around New Zealand for local events, makes them more vibrant, more fun things to do on the weekend with the families. But ultimately, it brings more money in from around New Zealand to our local businesses here, whether in hospitality or accommodation. Everyone benefits when we bring events to town.
Okay, and button from Prabha.
Yep. I think by just getting out of their way will be a good starting point. Council must stop being a barrier and start being an enabler. That means removing parking fees that hurt retailers, streamlining consent and inspection processes, and providing timely, efficient service when businesses need it. I will also champion business hubs, partnerships with training providers, and innovation zones that help local businesses grow and create jobs. A thriving local economy means a thriving city.
Okay, and with tradition with every button, what box number?
7.
7. Okay, let's get on to box number 7. Okay, we got Z for Zulu. Okay, what initiatives would you support to increase youth employment and skill building opportunities in Lower Hutt?
I think it's kind of a similar question. I'll partner with local businesses, industries, schools, youth groups, youth organizations, such as Youth Inspire, New Zealand Community of Young Ambassadors, and training providers to expand apprenticeships, internships and skill building programs. Young people are the future workforce. We must give them pathways to success right here in the Hutt, and we need to retain them. It's very important that we retain them and not lose them to our neighboring country, and do everything that we can possibly do to hold them back, and provide them the platform to survive, thrive, and also to grow in their career, because they are our future and we need to look after them. It's really important. I might butt in.
For my next question. Is that all right?
That's fine. You
Um,
only get 2 buttons though.
Look, this has actually been my life for the last 30 years in education, and our young ones are our future, they're our now, they're our leaders, they're capable, they're talented, and we must make sure that we're ensuring there are opportunities and meaningful pathways for them. So that means collaborating on all sorts of levels, you know, with schools, with Welltech, with Open Polytech. And part of the things that I did in my time is actually went out there and linked with businesses, created a partnership, and then looked at what could we look at for jobs. But it's also about ensuring that our young ones are job ready and have the skills so that they can actually go into those jobs and do really well and have a success pathway. So part of that is that wraparound, and that's so important that we are doing that on a collaborative level across our city. So what I'd like to say is that for me, our young ones are our now. We must invest in them and continue to do all we can for these pathways.
And now, what box number?
12, please.
So 12. Okay. Okay, we got I for indigo. How would you address climate change adaptation, especially flood risk and water management in Lower Hutt?
This is a really important issue. It's a collective issue, and it's one which needs continual education, but also an individual responsibility. And I think as a council, we're absolutely focused on this with our flood mitigation and protection that we're putting in with the Riverlink project and all the other various things we do. But we need a bigger, deeper conversation. We need to be connecting with everyone in our community to look at what does climate change really look like? And dare I say it, have conversations about potentially retreat. What might that look like? And what do we need to do to start preparing? I've talked about citizens' assemblies and other ways that we can link ground level to start hearing the voices of people and start that narrative, start that discussion and conversation. And when I think about some of the things that we're doing right now, you know, we're dictated to often right now by insurance companies. They have a monopoly over us. So we have to look at what are we doing to mitigate our risks, to do everything that we can as a council, working with our public, working with our residents, so that we're really prepared for what may happen with weather changes and climate change.
Okay, thank you for that. And we've got 8 questions down. Let's get to the next round. And Karen, you get the start off on this order list. What box number?
Oh, again, 20.
So use 20, no problem. Good old voting age for a very short period of time between 21 and 18. Okay, we have question Q for Queen. Okay, and put that one on me. Okay, what budget line item would you remove to help bring rates down in Lower Hutt without disrupting basic services?
Great. This is a good one. And look, I've been doing a lot of work grassroots level, talking to people out there. And obviously rates has a massive impact along with cost of living and a number of things. So they say to me, what might that look like for you if you were the mayor, if you got on council? And firstly, I would look at doing an independent review of our budget to look more closely in transparency of the organisation and staffing as well. So not only the budget, but what's happening in council, what's happening with the staffing, and then make decisions based on that evidence and what's presented to us. I think one area that the residents are talking to me about is contractors. How many contractors did the council have? We don't know. We can't see what it looks like. We don't know what the business even looks like. So they want to know for understanding. I think that's about clear communication, absolute transparency, absolute accountability, so that we're all connected and having really clear messages about the decisions that we make moving forward.
Okay, Brady, what box number?
11.
11, no problem there. Let's get on to question number 11. Okay, we got O for Oscar. what do you see as the biggest challenges facing your community?
Oh, look, undoubtedly the biggest challenge facing our community right now is rates affordability, alongside the massive investment that we need in our infrastructure. The reality is, for decades, previous councils have underinvested in things like water, leaving us with some really big backlogs. When I was first elected in 2019, there was 250 kilometres of pipes that needed to be renewed right then. And at that stage, they were doing about 1 to 3 kilometres a year. So you don't have to be a mathematician to work out how long that would have taken to get through the backlog. At the same time, we're facing a once-in-a-generational project like Riverlink, an opportunity for us to reimagine the city while we look at the flood protection to reshape our city. These challenges are huge, but with the right leadership, we can turn these into amazing opportunities. My focus will be on delivering the infrastructure we need while also keeping rates affordable and reconnecting council with the community so people feel part of every decision we make. If we get those things right, we'll set up a lower Hutt that future generations will thank us for.
Okay, and Ken, what box number?
25.
25. Okay, so let's find what is in question. Box number 25. We've got X for xylophone. How will you engage with residents to ensure their voices influence council's priorities?
Well, one of the fundamentals of serving in a democratic environment is listening to the people that put you there. And all of the candidates have spoken with passion and commitment about the importance of being a good representative of their community, and I will be no different. It is important to have very good relationships with the communities, with the whānau, with the neighbourhoods, with the schools, with the areas that are required. There are areas in the Hutt that require more support than others, and of course the all-important mana whenua relationship, in my view, will go to another level with Te Awa Puki Tapu coming in as the new Māori ward representative as well. So listening, talking and engaging is a very, very important part of being a good local body elected person.
Okay, thank you for that. Prabha, what box number?
23.
23. Okay, yes, let's get on to box number 23. Okay, we have P for Petu Orne. How will you work with local iwi and hapu to ensure decisions respect to Te Riti o Waitangi?
It's very, very important. Partnership with mana whenua must be genuine and not tokenistic. And I understand that Hutt City Council has already got an excellent partnership with mana whenua, which I completely endorse and support. And we need to be continuing that relationship strongly and keep growing it, respecting the tikanga and ensure the tiriti obligations are central to our decisions. Our shared future depends on our strong, respectful partnership. So it's critical.
Okay, so we have gone through 12 questions and we've got another round. Prabha, what box number?
Oh, me again?
Yeah.
6.
6. Okay, let's find out what's in box number 6. We got E for opponent. What are your priority areas for expenditure?
I love this. My top priority is delivering core services efficiently. All our roads, rubbish, waste, all of those sorts of things, doing it very, very well. Beyond that, ensuring we've got 2 major projects that are coming up, which is the Riverlink and also transferring our water services to the new entity. So we want to be really focused on delivering that on time within budget, and it's extremely important that all our energy is focused on getting that done with minimal disruption to our people when they have to. It'll be about 6 years, 7 years by the time we deliver Riverlink, hopefully. And so we need to make sure that we do it on time. Ratepayers must know their money is going where it matters. Most services that keep our city moving and keeping our people safe as well. I think that is also critical now in these days, keeping our community safe. It's extremely important.
Okay. Next up, Brady. What box number?
17.
17. Oh, yes, that mysterious age we enjoyed in the army.
But can't serve overseas.
Correct. Oh, yes, you remember
It's
things
like
from
I've
an
been
earlier
listening to
show.
the show, Sam.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good that we know our candidates actually also want to be helped being informed voting. What's your stance on residential development and housing supply in Hutt City?
Sorry, what was the question number?
Question number S for site error.
Look, I'll support increasing housing density, but making sure it has to be done well in the right places. This means encouraging it close to our transport and our services and where the infrastructure is able to handle it, but also making sure that new developments are designed with quality urban spaces and good green spaces around them too, because they become an extension of those houses. I also believe developers need to pay their fair share for infrastructure for their projects when it puts more demand on the existing infrastructure so that existing ratepayers aren't left carrying the whole cost. Getting this balance right is crucial. We absolutely need more housing to keep being, and we need to keep it being affordable, but it must be well planned so it strengthens our neighbourhoods and doesn't create long-term problems for future councils and mayors to deal with.
Okay, thanks for that. Ken, what box number?
24.
24. Okay. Okay, we got C for Charlie. What steps should the council take to protect biodiversity and manage pests?
Well, firstly, our relationship with the Greater Wellington Regional Council and their biodiversity program, pest control program is very important. Making sure that we are well connected to our communities. They've been under a lot of pressure in recent years in terms of funding, volunteers, having people available, having services delivered. The whole biodiversity program and pests has been a constant challenge. I've been on the regional council for a few years, and there are some issues in that area that need to be addressed. And hopefully, in the first year, we can make some significant progress in that area.
Okay, thanks for that. Karen, what box number?
25.
20. No, sorry, that's been taken.
30. Oh, how many boxes? 25 have we got? How many
28.
28.
Yes, no, that's a bit of a change since 2022. Okay, so, oh no, I want that camera there so it gets onto me, and we got B for Bravo. Is rate money being spent responsibly?
Gosh, have I got the best question. Rates is obviously the topic of the moment, and people are really hurting out there, as I've said before. So we do need to look at this with a new council. What are we going to do? And the call is from so many people I'm speaking to is that we really need to do a budget review and have an independent review, actually, so there's no bias and we can actually see what's really going on. With that, we're also getting a new water entity, and when we get a new water entity, there's absolutely going to have to be a reset. So looking at the budget, looking at the water entity, it's time to look at what's going on. I think the thing that's coming through from people when I speak on ground level is they really want to know what's happening with their money. They don't mind paying rates, but they need to know what's happening. There needs to be more transparency, more accountability, and more communication so they know exactly what it means and what it looks like. And I think for them right now, they're feeling there's a bit of a divide and a bit of a breakdown and a bit of a being done to as opposed to being done with. So that needs to change.
Thank you for that. Okay, so we've had 16 questions now, and let's get around to another round of questions with a new order. Brady, what box number?
Let's go 16 if that's what we're up to.
Yep, yes, the driver's license age, and the age that some people want voting to be lowered to. Now we've got number 2, and we've got V for, was it Violet? Okay, how would you advocate for central government funding for key infrastructure projects in Hutt City?
Oh, look, I've already proven that I can help secure major investment. The council I'm currently part of has secured $1.5 billion between the regional council, the central government, and of course, Hutt City Council. As Mayor, I'll continue to build on these strong relationships that I've already got with ministers and agencies making the case why investment in our city is actually an investment in the region. It's about showing government the value that we bring, whether it's resilient projects like flood protection or innovation through the Gracefield Innovation Quarter. I'll also work with our neighbouring councils and also the Hutt Valley Chamber of Commerce, who do amazing work and don't get enough recognition in Lower Hutt. They have a very ambitious plan to grow our GDP by 35% by the year 2035, and I'm absolutely on board with their plan. I'll also work really strong with the Lower Hutt community because it deserves its fair share of government funding, and I know how to fight for it.
Okay, thank you for that. Ken, what box number?
What's left?
Got 8, was it? We got 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 19, 21, 26.
You choose.
Okay, let's go for 8 because that's following with a pattern. Okay. Okay, we got L for. Do we have a suburb that starts with L in Lower Hutt?
Lower
Oh,
Hutt.
Lower Hutt. Yes, yeah. L for Lower Hutt. Okay. How would you enhance community facilities, recreational spaces, and cultural services in Lower Hutt?
Well, if we want our services and we want our facilities and we want our spaces to have their potential maximised, then we need to have people. And if we want to move the city forward and we want to be active, the significant investment that the council has made in establishing these facilities, spaces and services need to be supported. There's all sorts of talk in the education system about the lack of opportunities and the lack of exercise at a young age for our young people in year 1 and year 2 at school. There are opportunities there. I travelled New Zealand frequently in recent times and seen the opportunity to put on events involving local participation and regional participation and maximising, as I said before, the potential of our community services. Aotearoa Māori Rugby League is one such example that have been outstanding in New Zealand in using community facilities.
Okay, Ken, what box? No, sorry, not Ken. Karen, what box number? It's what happens when we're next door to each other on the list.
21, I think, is available.
Oh, yes. The good old age when my grandma graduated from Teachers Training College. Well, actually, it was a little bit before she turned 21. Okay, and let's get to there. D for Delta. What is your view on residential, commercial, and industrial growth in Hutt City?
Thank you. I think what's most important is we need a shared vision for our city and a strategy that moves us forward together and collectively. So growth needs to be well planned and sustainable. In Lower Hutt, we're looking at about 40,000 residents over the next, being increased and growing over the next 30 years. So we need to ensure that if we're going to have this growth, that our infrastructure can cope with that growth and is absolutely ready, sturdy, and we make sure that it's working 100% correctly. So with Riverlink, we're going to have a whole lot of opportunity as well to look at what we do with the residential, commercial, and we've got some great areas like Gracefield Quarter. So it's an amazing site, and we want to ensure that we're attracting continually innovative businesses who can come and be supported, and we can invest in them, invest locally, so that we can employ locally, which is really important.
Can I add to it, please?
So, a button? No problem.
Sure. This is just on the industrial growth. I think industrial growth is where the city has untapped potential. I want to position Hutt as a center of excellence for manufacturing and technology and R&D. I think that means attracting investment, providing skill-based training for our young people and creating jobs. Growth must serve residents and strengthen our economy, not overwhelm infrastructure. So for me, I think we've got a huge potential in the Hutt to attract more manufacturing and technology.
Okay, and with tradition with every button, Prabha, what box number?
14.
Yeah, we can do 14. Let's sit there and find out what question number 14 is. Well, what box question 14 is. Okay, we have U for uniform. How should Hutt City work with the regional council to improve local public transport?
Public transport has been one of my policies that I'm standing for as well. Public transport must be affordable, must be reliable, and must be frequent as well. So I will be a strong advocate with the regional council to be making it as affordable as possible, but also really looking at the big picture, connecting our Hutt city to Upper Hutt and also to the other side of the city. We should have buses going from Petone to Canada North or to Chiltern Park, Wellington, and then go to the other part of the city. So I will be an advocate to ensure that we are well connected across the Wellington region and also making it affordable, reliable, and frequent.
Okay, thank you for that. And it looks like we've got through 20 questions so far, and we get a new list order. Karen, what box number?
27.
That not taken, but we can take 26.
Cool.
Okay, so let's find out what's in box number 26. Doing well on the speed. I like this. Okay, and we got Y for yellow because our American, dual Kiwi American, doesn't like the phonetic alphabet version. How would you manage council debt while maintaining essential services?
So currently we have over 500 million debt right now, which is huge when you think about it. And the forecast is for that to increase. And we have a balanced budget plan for around 2031. But we must continue to keep under 250% of our revenue to manage this. And the budget is going to be critical as we move forward with all of our changes, with all of our projects. So we must prioritise our spending. It's critical that we are transparent once again, we're accountable, and that we are looking out at our core duties of what we need to do and how we're using that money and how we're using that wisely. With a new water entity that's going to be taken off our hands, but what that means is an extra bill for our ratepayers. So although we might be looking at changing with our rates and what we're charging there will be a water bill that is planned right now, sadly, to look to increase. So we've got to be making informed decisions, looking at our money at every decision we make.
Okay, thanks for that. And Prabha, what box number?
19.
Yep, we can do 19. Okay, so what's in box number 19? I think a bunch of dealerettes like Deal or No Deal was opening the cases. So if we can find 28 volunteers to sit and be dealerettes on the night, that would be nice. Okay, we got T for Tango. T. Yeah, T for Tango.
Oh, right.
Yep. How should the council promote sustainable transport, walking and cycling options in Lower Hutt?
We need a safe, connected, and sustainable transport system. That means improving public transport with electric buses and reliable, frequent, affordable rail. I know it's going to cost a bit, but as I said, it's connected to the previous question that I was answering. Payment systems should be simple, like a QR code, scanning instead of outdated machines. We also need good walkways and better education in schools, so children learn early the value of using public transport, walking, or cycling to school. Electric vehicles also have a role, and council can support infrastructure like charging stations, which we already do, but we have to do a bit more of. But above all, we must deliver projects within budget and with genuine community buy-in, not massive spending on cycleways without first ensuring people have the options and incentives to use them. Cycleways, I'm not against cycleways, but it's important that we first get the people to get into the culture of not using their cars and actually taking public transport. That's the first step. And then we move on to other modes of transport, like cycleways.
Okay, thanks for that. Ken, what box number?
20 something.
We'll do my birthday at 22. Okay, we got was it W? And I'll get this right one for Wainui o Mata, because I know I don't want to be chased out of town. Okay, how will you balance the interest of different communities within Hutt City?
Well, in my lifetime, the change, the diverse way that our city has changed, the new immigrants who have come in and made an enormous difference for the good of our city. Whether or not they get the acknowledgement, the recognition, the funding they deserve has always been a moot point. I think a few, if not all of us on the stage, were at the recent opening of the BAPS temple in Nainai recently, which I thought was an outstanding example of progress, development, humanity, those kinds of, traditionally we've been used to marae type settings and the role that mana whenua play, but with the arrival of the huge new immigrants in the last 30 years has made our city a much better and much more diverse place to live in.
Okay. Brady, what box number?
I'll let you choose your favourite number, Sam, of what's left.
Oh, what's left? I like
I
that
think
one.
there's only 4
Let's
or
go
5
for
left.
15 because that's how many people in this room at the age they got their driver's license at. Okay. We have R for Romeo. Hutt City Council doesn't have, I hope it does, many tactical places with tactical tiles and use of footpaths to assist users who are visually impaired. Is this a core function that the council should provide or a nice to have?
This is the most strangely niche question out of all of them, Sam. I love it. Yes, accessibility is ability of the council. Absolutely not a nice to have. One of the things I love about local government is that small issues to some people are actually really big issues to them. And things like tactile tiles are one of those things. Accessibility features aren't just good for those people. They're smoother footpaths or safer crossings aren't just about those people that are visually impaired. They improve the city for everyone. A smooth footpath is good for the child on a scooter or someone in a wheelchair or even the teenager walking with their head down looking at their phone. Investing in accessibility is about making our city safer, fairer, and more livable for everyone.
Yes, thanks for reminding me about the second benefit of tactical tiles, of those cell phone users who don't look where they're going. I'm pretty sure we see them around a lot. Okay, so we got, 4 questions left? Brady, what box number?
Let's go with your second favourite number of what's left.
What's left? 13, because that's the age you normally start a secondary school at.
I'm lucky 13. It better be a good question.
Okay, so we got M for Mike. What are your ideas of achieving more public participation in local government decisions?
We need to shift consultation from a tick box exercise to genuine engagement. That starts with engaging much earlier, before decisions are 90% already made, and using really clear, simple language that people can actually understand. I also want to trial participatory budgeting. If you go down to your local Z petrol station, you get the orange coins and you can decide which charity the money goes to. Using that with council budgets for some of the funding would be a really interesting way to get people more involved in where the money goes. This gives people a real voice in shaping their communities. And finally, we need to make engagement more human, getting out of the council chambers and actually getting to where the people are. That's the likes of going to schools and neighbourhoods and the local riverbank market. It's a really untapped resource. So if I'm mayor, I'll make sure I'll be absolutely fronting up to those places to meet people face to face where they are. When people feel that their input actually matters, they're far more likely to participate, and that makes much better decisions down the track.
Okay, button from Karen.
Kia ora. Listening to diverse voices is an area that I'm absolutely campaigning on. It is so critical. And currently we have so many voices in our city that aren't heard: our rangatahi, our elderly, our disabled, both visible and invisible, our disadvantaged. We have over 180 ethnicities in our beautiful, diverse city, and where are their voices? We must hear their voices. And that means we have to go to them. We have to go to the areas they're at and link with them and hear their voices and give them spaces so that they can input and be part of their city and part of their decision making and part of their vision and our vision collectively. And I think that happens at a grassroots level. That's what's critical, and that's what's important. We have to be at one with them and walk alongside them. And a little example that I did recently, I've been working with Wheels and Canes, which is a disabled group who maybe use wheelchairs and different things. And it's about hearing about accessibility. Right now, The city is not accessible for all people, and we need to change that.
Okay, Kim, what box number you got between 9, 10 and 5?
10.
Okay. Okay, we got letter AB for Alpha Bravo. What's your biggest priority for the next term, and how do you intend on delivering on that?
The lowest rates rise in New Zealand was Wanganui, 2.2. The highest was Clutha, 15.7. The average medium across New Zealand was 8.7, and Lower Hutt was 12.6. As I said in my opening statement, there's nowhere that any of us can go at the Hutt in the build up to this next local body elections without the rates coming into play, the cost of living, public transport, all of those issues that all of us are passionate about, and we only want the best for our city. The biggest priority for us is to do the right thing by our community. Everybody's got a line by line review. Everybody's got an idea around bringing in an independent person, but what the community really want is they want meaningful change. They want to see some tough decisions made. And as you raised earlier, the difference between nice to have and must have are decisions that I think have been avoided in recent times.
Okay, and we've got a button for Brady.
Yeah, I'll just butt in there like, yep, we have all agreed to do a line-by-line review. I think I'm the only one not saying an independent line-by-line review. That means paying more consultants and more contractors more work to do what is ultimately the mayor's job and the elected people around that table. Absolutely, we need to do a line-by-line review. But ultimately, it's going to be a judgment call for the newly elected council about what we do more of and what we do less of. At the heart of it, getting back to the basics is absolutely core. Fixing the roads, the footpaths, the streetlights, the water infrastructure, the stuff people expect us to invest money in. So absolutely, I'm on board for a line-by-line review, but I won't be paying someone else to do my job.
Can I just button on that, please?
No, you used up your buttons, but sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I see the independent financial review as a key investment to really bring to light where we have missed the plot. And we really need to be working hard to understand where have we spent our money, where has all the money gone, wasteful spending, and by not doing an independent review, we're not going to get the real picture. We need to be very honest about it. Thank you.
Okay, and Karen, what box number between the choice of 9
Okay.
and 5? We'll go for 5. Okay, we got H for hotel. Yeah, that's the camera I want. What skills and experiences do you have that you believe would be beneficial to you as mayor?
Thanks. I think what we need right now is steady, cool, calm, collected leadership. A leader who has walked the talk, who is a person of action, who has been in those positions, who has had a proven record of success and demonstrated leadership throughout their lives. And that's me. And I guess what I bring is experience around governance, around being on national boards, around management of 60 staff plus. And I want to be able to bring those skills to really build a team and create a really cohesive team so that together we can build a culture of support and a culture of success across Hutt City, because I think that's our direction and that's what we need. So then we can look at the big issues. We can look at what's happening with our budget. We can look at the core needs of our city and what becomes a priority when we're actually clearly communicating, working together and working for the best interest of our residents and our city.
Oh, okay. Gee, Ken's the only one who hasn't buttoned tonight.
You can button.
Okay, go ahead.
Cool. Look, for me, I bring a unique mix of skills here. I've been on the council for 6 years, and I think having some grassroots understanding of how our city works, who the important people are around the table and in our city and in the organisation is a very big team. And being able to hit the ground running on day one is crucial to delivering for our city. Alongside 6 years as a councillor working hard, I've also got 20 years of business experience. So I understand the real world challenges on both sides of the fence. My leadership style is grounded in trust, integrity, transparency, and collaboration. I know how to bring people together, inspire confidence, and get results. That's the kind of leadership needs right now for our mayor.
Okay. And Prabha, you've got a choice of one box number of number 9. What box number would you like?
Is it 9?
Yes.
Right?
No. Okay. So we've got N for November. What will you do to stop poor council expenditure, allocate resources to critical infrastructure, and rein in huge increases?
I think I've answered that question just now by saying I'm going to commission an independent financial review and put every line of spending under the microscope. We must cut vanity projects, reduce outsourcing, and stop wasteful spending. Savings will be redirected to critical infrastructure. My focus is simple: deliver value for money and stop the endless cycle of huge rate hikes without service improvements. So that's pretty much what I will be doing.
Okay. Thank you for that. So we have exhausted all the box questions out. So just a bit housekeeping before we get to the break. It's in the Ballot is an independent non-profit organisation focusing on bringing candidates and voters quality information on what they to sit there and vote for. It's in the Ballot is funded by small dollar donations from our viewers and our supporters. So if you'd like to tonight, you can if you can sit there and help us, you can sit there and donate to our Give a Little page. You can also use the Eventbrite Koha ticket option, or you can also head to itsintheballot.nz and click on donations to do a direct credit deposit into our bank account. And new to YouTube, we have recently gained YouTube partnership. So if you'd like to sit there and put in a super chat if you're watching live, or a super thanks if you're watching later on, you're welcome to do so. And the cost to sit there and bring these free It's in the Ballot shows that have happened today has come to a cost of a venue hire of $937.50. We also have a $14 charge for the Starlink connection, a $31 charge for the rehosting, and a $100 fuel provision for fuel, and $50 provision for refreshments. So if you'd like to sit there and help the It's in the Ballot cause, you can do that, and I'll see if I can get Laura to flick up the QR codes for some merchandise where you can buy a 2025 themed It's in the Ballot shirt or a 2025 themed It's in the Ballot hoodie. So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break here, and then we'll be back after the break for hard-hitting questions.
Just a short little breather to stretch out your legs. You don't need a leader. The live stream will be back, so don't go too far. But for now, you can wander wherever you are. Intermissions aren't really a thing anymore, but we think they're cool, a tradition to adore. A moment to breathe, have a laugh, maybe chat. There's magic in breaks, and we're keeping that. Head to the lobby, I mean your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime. Your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Maybe 3. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime. Into the lobby, I mean your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Maybe 3. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime. The lobby, I mean your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime. little breather to stretch out your legs. You don't need a leader. The live stream will be back, so don't go too far. But for now, you can wander wherever you are. Intermissions aren't really a thing anymore, but we think they're cool, a tradition to adore. A moment to breathe, have a laugh, maybe chat. There's magic in breaks, and we're keeping that. Head to the lobby, I mean your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime. Your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Maybe 3. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime. Get to the lobby, I mean your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Maybe 3. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime. The lobby, I mean your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Maybe 3. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime.
shit, don't panic, but it's almost time to get back to the show. The candidates have stretched their legs, been partying, taking a break. There's still hard-hitting questions, closing statements and stuff you wanna know. So grab those snacks for their answers and prep for decisions you need to make. Oh, 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 oh. The candidates have stretched their leg. The candidates have stretched their legs, been partying, taking a break. Oh, 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 oh. There's still hard-hitting questions, closing statements and stuff you wanna know. So grab a snack you wanna know. So grab those snacks for their answers and prep for decisions you need to make. Oh, 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 oh.
candidates ready for the fight. Voices loud, they take the stand. Who will lead the promised land? Promises flying, hearts ignite. Truth and lies will take the mic. The clock is ticking, make your choice. Who you hear, the people's voice.
Hey, welcome back to It's in the Ballot, and now let's get ready for hard-hitting questions.
Hard-hitting questions. We're no candidates are running. What does a question? Because every candidate has to answer the hard-hitting questions.
Okay, so hard-hitting questions are the questions where all the candidates can't use their button cards because every candidate's going to be answering the question. They can't use the defer cards because guess what? They're still going to be answering the question. So let's kick off with hard-hitting question number 1. What role should Māori landowners play in shaping Hutt City development and resource management? Now, let's get off to the random order sheet. And Prabha, you get to go first.
Thank you. From my understanding, as I had mentioned already, the council has got a very good relationship, a good partnership with Mana Whenua, and consulting them is a key part of our role in ensuring their voices are heard in every major decision. Maori landowners must have a central role in shaping how our city develops and how we manage our natural resources. Their connection to land and water is intergenerational, deeply rooted in kaitiakitanga, and offers perspectives we cannot afford to ignore. As mayor, I will ensure that this partnership continues and is not just consultation at the end of the process, but genuine involvement right from the start with other affected groups involved too. That way, we create development that is sustainable, culturally grounded, and future focused for the whole city.
Okay, next up, Brady.
Thank you. Māori landowners absolutely should play a really strong role in shaping development and resource management here in Lower Hutt. They bring a really grounded perspective that benefits all of us when it's done as part of good decision making. Council needs to treat Māori landowners as genuine partners, not just as stakeholders at the end of a process. This means engaging early on with housing projects, environmental projects, and resource management planning, and making sure their voices help shape the outcomes. At the end of the day, all the Māori want is good for everyone. So respecting Te Tiriti isn't just about representation, it's about a partnership in practice. And working with them alongside is a really key part of that.
Okay, Ken.
Our relationship with Mana Whenua was sacred. The Māori land ownership and their influence, their decisions and their impact is a very important part of our future. How we look at the city, how we shape the city, if we are committed to working together with Mana Whenua on a much wider basis, then we have to know and understand the importance of having them at the table and having them at the table early. We all know the history that's gone on with Māori lands and the struggles that they have had over the course of our country's history. It's very important that we be a meaningful partner alongside them and that they have a significant say and influence over what's best and what benefits the entire city.
Okay, and Karen.
Kia ora. Māori landowners are not just stakeholders, they are our kaitiaki, our innovators, our partners in shaping our city that honours its past and builds a future for us all. Their intergenerational view of sustainability and care of whenua is essential for our long-term planning. It is important that we are guided by Te Tiriti o Waitangi, the principles, which includes partnership, participation, and protection of Māori interests. For me, what's so important is partnership and meaningful partnership. We have outstanding Mana Whenua, a very good relationship, but we also have an extensive group of Māori voices that also need to be heard and be represented at our table so that we are making really informed decisions and we're doing that collectively, collaboratively, with a really inclusive approach that has depth and meaning and one that comes from a real sense of care and respect. Thank you.
Okay, now let's get on to hard-hitting question number 2. Do you support the introduction of targeted rates for specific projects? Why or why not? And the new random order list starts off with Prabha. What box number?
I believe targeted rates should only ever be a last resort and only if there is direct benefit to the community paying them. Too often, councils introduce targeted rates as a way of funding vanity projects or covering poor financial discipline. I do not support targeted rates for projects that should be funded through core council revenue because ratepayers are already stretched. However, if a project has overwhelming community support and delivers clear direct value to those paying the targeted rate, then it can be considered. But financial discipline and cutting waste must come first.
Okay, Karen.
Kia ora. We already have targeted rates. So we look at the Jackson program and the things that are going on there. And there's a whole lot of excellent, exciting work that that group are doing for the benefit of that community. So I'm very open to look at this, particularly to attract and retain local businesses, to see how we can ensure that they flourish and thrive in the Hutt and increase our local employment, increase our local economy and lift our local economy, because our businesses are the heart of our economy. So yes, it's a tool that we can use and we may use in the future, but that's a decision for the new council team. It's a decision about priorities. It's a look at, once again, what's core, what do we need to do well, what do we need to do best, what do we focus on that our residents want us to focus on. We are their representatives. We are your voice, and it's so important that at that table we're doing our best to do all we can to be clear and communicate exactly what's going on for you.
Okay, Ken.
If an exclusive group in the city benefits from a particular project, then it is appropriate and fair that a targeted rate is implemented. One example is mains water supply, where that could be used. Some households are directly connected and directly benefit, and some are not. So in appropriate circumstances, a targeted rate is fair and equitable.
Okay, Brady.
Yeah, I think targeted rates not just could be used for water infrastructure, they already are used. We already have targeted rates for water if you're connected to it, stormwater, drinking water, wastewater, our rubbish bins. If you don't get the service, you don't pay for it. So they are a great benefit when they are localized benefits and those people fund for it. But if there are new ones introduced, they do need to be much more transparent, much more clearly explained and backed by the community. Otherwise, people might just see it as a way of double dipping. My general view is that targeted rates should be used sparingly and carefully. Council should focus on keeping the core rates affordable in the first place, while making sure that targeted rates are applied, if they are applied, that they're done fairly and tied to real benefits. As I say, we've already got them and they make a lot of sense, but with the changing to our water infrastructure from 1 July next year, it's going to fundamentally change the budget with those targeted rates coming off your rates bill if I'm the mayor. And that's why we need someone with experienced leadership to take us in the next direction.
Okay, thank you for that. And now let's get on to hard-hitting question number 3. Oh, don't put, won't put the timer on me. What is your position on retaining Hutt City Council's Manakarangi ki Tai Māori Ward and Greater Wellington Regional Council Te Opoko or Te Ika a Maui Māori constituency, and why do you hold that position? And Brady, you get to go first.
Yeah, absolutely support retaining the Manakarangi ki Tai Māori Ward that we have here, and also the regional councils one. Acknowledging the person in the crowd that got in with unopposed. Congratulations. I'm a little bit jealous that you don't have to do any campaigning and be up here in the spotlight. Look, representation matters, and these wards ensure that Māori have a strong and direct voice at the decision-making table. Lower Hutt is stronger when all voices are included, and Māori wards are an important step to building a genuine partnership with mana whenua. That's not to say that the Māori ward representation improving this partnership so it's meaningful. Te awa kairangi ki tai Lower Hutt.
Okay, and we're just going to hold on a moment because it says the Okay, it looks like we've come back after probably having a tree branch or something went over the Starlink dish at the back. Okay, Prabha, what your hard-hitting question response?
Sure. I strongly support Maori representation at the council table. It's important that Maori voices are part of our decision making. Right now, we are going through a referendum on Maori wards, and I believe it's crucial to respect that process and listen to what our community wants. As your mayor, I will support the outcome of that referendum. This is not about me imposing my view. It's about ensuring the people of Hutt City have their say, and I will stand firmly behind the choice that our community makes.
Okay, thanks for that, Ken.
The opposite of diversity is uniformity. The opposite of equity is inequity. And the opposite of inclusion is exclusion. And as leaders and as potential mayors, these are issues that will challenge us as the dynamic of our society changes. Representation, Indigenous representation, Māori representation are very, very important tools for us if we want to live in an environment where we respect diversity, equity, and inclusion. And as New Zealand continues to change and the Hutt changes as well, you know, bearing in mind that we're not that far off, Asians being 17% of the New Zealand population. All of these things add to the rich dynamic of living in an engaged community.
Okay, and Karen.
Kia ora. It's very important that we have Māori wards. It's so important to me that I went to Parliament and made a submission, and that's how deeply I feel this is important, to say we absolutely need Māori wards, but we should not have to have a referendum to have the decisions made by council through that avenue. So it's really disappointing that that's happened. However, we are where we are, and so now more than ever, that referendum is going to be really important, that all of you do go out and vote, because it's a critical vote and everyone needs to decide on their future for us and Aotearoa. In respect to Greater Wellington Regional Council, I think we have a good partnership, and I think we can continue to build that partnership and work as strong partners together in our decision making, being open, being transparent, talking about what's coming up and our projected future focuses and things that we are putting our energy into. It's about collaborative approach, being inclusive, and really want that to be a strong partnership.
Okay, and it seems to be we are running a little ahead of schedule. Now, I've had people throw their questions into the chat as they do all night long. Some of them have actually been answered in the question boxes anyway, but one that hasn't been is living wage. So would you be keen to answer a on-the-spot question about living wage? Should Hutt City Council, as an employer and also as its contractors, be an accredited living wage employer?
They are.
Sorry?
They are.
They are, and should retain it? Okay.
Yep, Lower Hutt is already a living wage accredited employer. It's something I've been proud to champion on the council. It's very important to our council that we do this, and obviously I'm just one of the voices around that table, but it's something that was passed fairly unanimously by the team there. Absolutely, it needs to happen and continue going on. We're one of the few cities actually in New Zealand that is living wage accredited, and I would love other councils to join us.
I concur. It is really important that Hutt City Council is a living wage accredited organisation, and I think we lead by example, which is how I like us to operate and how I want us to operate in the future. But I'd go even further. So when I became a councillor, I resigned about 1.5 years ago from my role as principal. And since that time, I've been trying to get really active and connect with our community groups. One of those was the living wage movement. And so I actually linked with them to say, how can I support this? What can I do in my role as a councillor? So what I did through my networks is manage to talk to a number of schools and have them come on board and sign the pledge, which is a sign of, I guess, my determination to really help those good causes and look at what we can do for the betterment and uplifting everyone in our community, because a living wage is what people need right now, absolutely, to just get by, to just survive, because it's so damn hard out there. So the more that we could look at this across the city would be absolutely brilliant, and I support it 100%.
Prabha.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no two ways about it at all. I completely support it.
And Ken, you obviously, anything you want to add?
Not really.
Fair enough.
Cool. If I could just add a plug, if anyone is watching and wants to learn more about the living wage, on the 11th of September, Treadwell Hall at 6:30 p.m. The Lower Hutt Living Wage Movement is coming together with all the candidates to learn more about the living wage and make a pledge if you believe in that. So if you want to learn more, 11th of September, come along.
Thank you for that. Okay, so now let's get to the final stage of the show, closing statements. And I'll just to go, and then we can pack away Starlink. Okay, I think we're back. Okay, Ken, you get to go first.
A leadership that unites and priorities that deliver two of the main messages around my campaign. Good leadership at the council table means you have to have a collective understanding and a collective commitment from everybody that's elected. Those of us up here individually, we can all have our own ideas for sure, but we need, most importantly, to have a group of councillors elected that are on exactly the same page and exactly committed. And we talk about priorities, we have to keep looking at rates, we have to keep looking at where we spend our money, we have to be very frugal, in my view, with our thoughts with regard to change, and we have to be prepared to be fair, but at the same time, there are some tough decisions to be made. If I get the opportunity to lead in October, I'll be doing my very best to ensure that there's a strong leadership and strong priorities are identified.
Can we get a round of applause? Okay, Prabha.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here. Appreciate your time. The choice at this election is clear. It's a choice between more of the same or a fresh start with a leader who's independent and accountable only to you. My commitment is not about politics. It's about practical, common sense solutions. It's about a council that respects your rates, fixes our failing infrastructure, and supports our local communities and businesses. It's about leadership that listens, acts, and delivers. I have the experience, the energy, and the dedication to get our city a vibrant center where people choose to live and raise their families. I'm asking for your vote because I believe in the potential of Lower Hutt, and I'm ready to get to work. Let's build a city we can all be proud of together. Ngā mihi nui, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Okay, Brady.
Oh, thank you so much for being part of tonight, both the studio audience here and those watching online, either delayed or live now. Thank you so much. I genuinely love this city. It's shaped who I am. It's helped me raise my daughter here and helped me create my businesses. It's where I've chosen to raise my daughter. And every day I think of the kind of Hutt that she'll grow up in and the opportunities that we can create right now for that future generation. Over 6 years on council, I've proven that I'll front up, I'll do the hard work, and I'll make those tough calls. But this is more than just about me. It's about bringing together a new council to create a shared common vision together. It's about all of us together building a city that's thriving and welcoming and full of opportunity. And with your support, I'll bring that experience, the passion, and the heart to lead us there. Let's create a Lower Hutt that future generations will thank us for. Thank you so much.
Okay, Karen.
Kia ora. Thank you for this evening. I am ready to be your mayor. I lead with integrity, by my values, and when making decisions, I'm guided by my moral compass. I will advocate, I will negotiate, I will work hard for us in our city. And I'm a person of action. I do what I say I'm going to do. I have extensive leadership, governance, management, and life experience, and I have demonstrated a record of success through my career, such as building strong partnerships with local businesses. I am an inclusive leader, which means I listen, collaborate, connect at a grassroots level, and create partnerships on all sorts of levels. I want our diverse voices to be heard and to have an active role in our decision-making and our vision. I'll build a team so that together as a team, we can create a culture of support and a culture of success. What I offer you is cool, calm, steady, collected leadership. With me as your mayor, you're in safe hands, and I will do all in my power to do the very best for us. Vote Karen Morgan for mayor, a mayor that makes things happen. Kia ora.
Okay, now I want to ask a bit of a fluff question before we sit there and get off there. I run a coffee cart called Bean here, and I want to know, if you came to my coffee cart, what type of coffee would you order? Brady.
My status quo coffee is an Americano, but given how many conversations I've been having over the last few months, I'm actually playing coffee roulette, where I just get whatever the person I'm meeting's drinking, and it's been quite the journey.
All right.
I know many of you may not know what kind of coffee we Indians drink. We drink a beautiful filter coffee from south of India, which is just absolutely aromatic, and I would urge all of you to try it if you ever visit India, or I can make you a beautiful filter coffee when you come to my place. You're welcome to come to my place anytime. Thank you.
Karen.
I have to say, when you have all these meetings, you kind of get a bit coffee inundated. And so I'm trying to veer away from coffee. And I'm actually quite an instant girl, which I used to get so much hassle for in most of my life. It's like, how can you drink instant coffee? But that's what I do. If I came to your cart, I would request an iced latte. So that's my choice of coffee currently. Thank you.
And Kim.
They told me that coffee box cart place outside Stevens Motors on High Street, and the one outside on Ramwick Road outside the golf joint, that those two coffee places, I'm reliably informed, are two of the best in the Hutt. But if I come to your joint, mate, flat white.
No problem, no problem. And I will have to say thank you. Now, please don't shoot Brady for this one, because he had nothing to do with this, but I have actually sold coffee at Gracefield School on 2 separate occasions. And just to note there, I do know you're still on the board.
Yep, for the next few weeks until the new board takes over.
Okay, yeah. But just beware, he did not arrange this. This was my own doing with the school themselves. So they contact me directly. So I've been there. And also, if you go to Bean here, you can see me at Newtown Market every Saturday across the road from Wellington Hospital. So if you end up having to go to Wellington Hospital on Saturday, you can sit there and do that. Okay, well, thank you, candidates, for participating tonight. Thank you to our audience members for coming in and taking the night to sit down there and bring us our It's in the Ballot show. Can I also sit there and thank Al for stepping in today to do cameras? It's not been easy when I get the phone call at 7:30 in the morning to say Nick's not coming. We will see Nick back on Wednesday. Fingers crossed, our candidate liaison, who also does a lot of our background work, can sit there and do that. He definitely knows with the presenting, has definitely taken its toll. It's the first time I've presented 3 shows in one day. So that's definitely a bit of a mix. Can I also sit there and thanks Nick, our candidate liaison, thanks Stacey, also our producer who does the graphics, also Laura. I'd also like to thank Ray, was it Andre, for their bits they contribute. Thanks to Helen for doing the questions, and Carol for doing the social media with the posts that have gone in the background, for making our It's in the Ballot shows happen. And we're going to be taking tomorrow off. Thank goodness, after how many days of like solid block productions. You know, as you can tell, I definitely turn up to the job, you know, and there have been some long hours and a lot of mileage being driven up, including I've had my experience of driving over the Manawatu Tararoa Highway and learning what it's like with ABS brakes going down the hill, going down quite fast. Wainui Mata Hill is an absolute breeze in comparison on your brake pads. So going to be, so there's been a lot that's been on there. And yeah, we'll see everyone back for Western General Ward of Hutt City Council on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Have a good evening.
Thank you.